Hello, readers. Welcome back to the Toppling TBR. I'm Stacey.
And I'm Hanna. And we are wrapping up Throne of Glass series. We're doing part 2 of Kingdom of Ash today, The Gods and the Gates. It's been a long journey, but we're here.
Yes.
Okay, let's start off strong with Dorian and Morath. So it starts off with Dorian hiding his 2 keys under shale, because, she's got to throw that word back in here again. I have to make note of it every time, too, because it's so frequently used.
It's going to be a drinking game.
Yeah, right? Next reread, it will be. So then he shifts into a mouse and goes into Morath. And I know it's such a small detail, but I weirdly loved that he described that, like, he was just, like, hyper aware. And I think it was a perfect animal because he needs to be hyper aware. Like, his survival is on the line. So he can go under the radar and pay attention to all these little things. Small detail that I loved.
Yes.
But surprise, Maeve is in Morath.
Mm-hmm.
And, he learns, she's related by marriage to Erewhon and that she has been dethroned and that Aelin has also escaped.
Yes.
All good things. So Maeve wants to ally with Erewhon to save her own ass. She's just using him as she does everybody else in this series. And then she agrees to let him use some of her Karen Quee as hosts for Vogue princesses. How creepy is that?
I thought that was a really weird thing to offer. Really.
Yeah, especially because we see that she actually cares for them, right?
Yeah.
So, like, she's willing to sacrifice anybody and anything for her own survival, which, she's just selfish. She's selfish. And also, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, for me, I thought maybe she might redeem herself in this book, but as soon as she did that, and I don't like spiders, but that really solidified the fact that there was nothing redeemable about this creature. Nothing.
Yeah, no, there's not at all. And she, she's doing this because she knows Aelin can probably defeat her. So she just wants to do it together so that, she doesn't die or whatever happens to them. So after that whole meeting, Maeve then pins Dorian's tail. She catches him and he shifts back into a man. And I don't know why this passed through my head, but, like, it was so hard for me to take this encounter seriously because, so is Dorian standing in front of her butt-ass naked? Because when they shift, Sandra doesn't have clothes. So he shifts back in her room and he's just having this whole conversation with her naked, which I found quite funny.
Like, yeah. I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
I didn't either, but then I was like, okay, well, this is interesting.
Well, can't he shift and make it look like he's wearing clothes?
Maybe,
Because
actually.
his magic works differently to Lysandra's, right? Like, she is a shifter. He is using magic in a different way. I don't know.
Yes,
That's really...
I think that the raw magic means that he can hone in and harness all of the different types of abilities. So he can do fire and ice and shape-shifting. I don't know if he can necessarily do it differently. I just know he can do them all. I don't know. Interesting.
No,
I found
I'm
that
about
funny.
naked.
Yeah. So then she offers to ally with him after trying to get into his mind. And my question here is, like, did she pivot to alliance with him because she realized that she couldn't control him? Or because she mentioned that she knew he was going to Morath? Or did she know he was going to be there and she went there for an alliance with him so that she could get all the keys?
You know what? When I was reading this, I wasn't entirely sure what her motives were. And I never really did figure it out. Because it sounds to me like she just says whatever she needs to say to get what she wants. So who really knows what the truth was there? Like, I think maybe she did know he was going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really strange to me because you would think that she would have siding with Aelin would have been better because she would have kept her place and her crown and he would be gone. Like, I don't understand why she even
she wasn't able to break through to Aelin. So she was trying. That was her first plan.
I know, but she was doing it in a way where she was trying to manipulate her into doing it. Why not just form a real alliance? Why not that route? It really seemed really weird to me that she was just trying to break her to give her the blood oath. Why not just say, hey, let's ally against this, get rid of Erewhon, and then we can sort our shit out after?
Yeah. That probably would have been a better route. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, none of it, she didn't make any sense to me at all. So I never really did set my mind on which way I thought what she was really there to do. I thought she really was there for Erewhon because she felt like she had no other choice. And she saw Dorian was just like, maybe this would work a little better. Yeah. But again, she went for the mind breaking.
Yeah. Well, that's her comfort. Yeah, she is slimy. Okay. So Dorian is playing a dangerous game, right? He suggests that she ally with Aelin as his queen. So And also the fact that he was able to show her that his intentions were pure
Mm,
after just experiencing her mind power is
yeah,
insane to me. Like, how quickly like, I know we see him, it takes a while for him to, like, get the hang of shapeshifting because he did mention that was a different type of magic,
yeah,
but the fact that she just did that to him for the first time and he was able to flip it back and do it to her so quickly, like, that's wild.
yeah. It
So,
really is.
I love that he's using her own tactics against her, though, like, he knows she craves power, and he's manipulating her and, kinda playing
Yeah.
that same game. And I do love too that we see here, really for the first time, I feel like, that he's really learned how to, like, weaponize his mind and not just his magic.
Yeah. I think,
So much
you know
character
what?
growth.
Dorian in this part of the book and later on in this part as well, but I was really like, man, he would go to the ends of the earth to do what's right. Like
Mhm.
he would do whatever it took.
Well, I think
And
a
I
lot.
kind of respected that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's can you imagine being trapped in your own body and being made to do all of these evil things? Like, he's probably trying to
No.
redeem that part of himself too.
I know, but it really sucks because as far as I'm concerned, he had no control over that. You don't forgive yourself
You
for something
know.
outside of your realm. I feel
Yeah.
really oh, I
I
just
know.
feel really bad. Really
I know,
bad for him.
I love him. Okay. So then after that, he puts on Vernon's skin and he asks Erewhon why.
Mm,
And oh, Erewhon says he's making this world to mirror their homeland so that
yeah.
whenever his brothers come back, that he will impress them. And then he also says that he loves his brothers. So do you think Erewhon is capable of love?
Maybe not in the way we think of
Yeah.
love, but I think it's whatever evil people think love is.
So do you think that his motives being driven by his love redeems him at all?
No.
Yeah,
No, I
me either.
don't. Because why not just go fucking home then? If
Right?
you love what you already left behind, why not just go home?
Why
Like,
didn't
it
he
made
was
no
sealed
sense.
here, he was stuck here, right? He can't go home because
I
he doesn't
know,
have the
but why
key.
not get the word key? He wants the word keys to bring his brothers over. Now, why not just want the word key so you can fuck off back to the realm you
If
seem to
that's
enjoy so much?
if you're trying to make it look and feel like that realm anyway, right?
Exactly.
I
You're
think
not coming here for a better world or a better life. You're coming here to do the same thing
no,
there.
I
Oh,
think he's got, like, just pure little brother energy, like, he's trying to impress his big brothers and, "Oh,
yeah.
look what I did, I conquered a world and turned it into what we love and are comfortable with," so
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel about it too. You hit the nail on the head right there.
yeah. So Dorian asking him why, I like that because it shows that he's trying to understand, this evil. And in
Yeah.
Tower of Dawn, the entire like premise of the book is that understanding is healing.
Yeah.
So I do really like that because Dorian's still on his path to healing all of his trauma. But then he explores the castle. He finds a room full of all the callers. And it says that he could feel the darkness reaching out for him. And I was wondering, like, would anybody feel that darkness? Do they reach out to anybody or does it recognize him?
Oh,
Because, like,
that's a really
everybody
good question.
can feel it, like, emitting, this weird force or whatever we've heard, but he described it as it was reaching out towards him.
Maybe the collars wanted to be worn because it's got the creatures in it, right? But you're
They're
right. Maybe
ready.
there is still a little taint on him that
Maybe.
made it. Yeah. I don't know. You have such brilliant questions. I
So I
never
just
thought of
sit there
that.
and I write it down and then I'm like, and I just start thinking about it. I don't know. Okay.
No, that's
So, but
brilliant.
also it said that Maeve left their world because she did not like that feeling. So do you think that her decision to flee, like, absolves her at all?
No,
Me either.
no,
Okay.
no,
I'm just
I
curious.
no.
It was just all selfish motives, like,
Yeah.
it was selfish motives mixed with, like, her curiosity for something more and something different.
Look, I understand that she wanted to give herself a better life, but she wasn't helping to protect the realm that she claims loved so much. She
Yeah,
was hiding. She was hiding from it. Nah, I got no sympathies for that witch.
me either. Okay, so but she also whenever they're talking, she mentions that Vogue souls have a shape, but they can choose to adorn them with bodies if they would like. So are Vogue essentially shapeshifters too? Like,
Sounds that
I
way.
don't think it's in the same way because I was under the impression that they needed a human body to wear, but then she mentioned that Erewhon is wearing his preferred look. So unless he kept that body, alive and hidden away. Oh, I guess it does. Yeah, they have to be alive unless
Yeah.
they have all three keys. Then he's choosing his form, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying to you. Like, was it that he was shifting to look like? Because we didn't know if he was inhabiting a body. So that kind of tells us that he isn't inhabiting a body. He was taking their form because he shape shifted.
Yeah.
Like, he has to have. There's no other way. You're right, 'cause, what do you do? Put the meat sack to one side for a while?
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what I mean?
know, and so that was interesting to me. I was like, "Huh, okay."
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
you're
well,
right.
maybe they can shift into animals. Who knows? If they can adorn them with bodies, who's to say it has to be human or fae?
But why would they do that then if they don't need to do that?
I don't know.
Because humans are easy to kill. Or were
They
they
are.
looking for the magic? Maybe they needed the bodies for some.
Yeah, because they do harness whatever magic that they held, well, at least with the collars they
I
can.
don't know. Wow, now you
Interesting.
got my
That
little
was just a
cogs
side little
turning.
thought. Okay, so then Dorian suggests that Maeve seduce Erewhon, and he says no because that's his brother's wife,
Yeah.
which it's been so long, and I'm like, "You're still loyal to him? That's weird considering you're supposed to be pure evil." But then comes in the little brother thing, like, are you scared of your brother? And maybe that's why? Is it that over loyalty?
That's kind of what I thought. I was
Yeah,
thinking to myself too, like, what if you bring your brother here and he finds out you've been, sticking it to his old lady? Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Especially since he's been
Mm.
looking for her for however long.
I won't think about that.
So, then Dorian wears
Yeah.
Erewhon's skin and goes into his room, and we see the girl with the word key in her arm, and she's like, "Kill me, kill me." And I liked this moment because this is you saying that Dorian's always trying to do the right thing because we see here he's like, "Oh, well, Aelin would kill her." And I don't know if he, like, thought of Manon or Kale, but he thought of someone else, and he's like, "Oh, he'd do this." But then he's like, "Well, what do I wish to be?" And he was sitting there, like, kind of grappling with that as Maeve steps in and snaps her neck for a wedding gift, and I'm like, "Okay." So,
Yeah.
but I do like him trying to do the right thing.
I said sometimes it's hard to know what the right thing is in each situation for Dorian, right? What is best?
Yeah, and then, like, one small move, like the butterfly effect thing, this could be right here, but it could cause all of this chaos over here.
Exactly.
So then, Maeve shows up and she lashes for his mind again, and he has studied and learned her magic, and he set up a trap for her,
Yep.
and I love this, like, checkmate moment, like, where he beats Maeve at her own game, and also, I love so much in this scene, I freaking, like, cheered out loud whenever he was like, "There's only one witch who will be my queen. Yes,
Yes.
Manon." So then he had put ice all throughout Morat's foundation. He brought it all
Mhm.
crumbling down. How'd you like
I
that
loved
scene?
that. I loved that. I thought that was very smart. Like, you see how dangerous he really is, like, how much power he yields.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, also, as the tower came down, it mentioned shale again. Okay, so now he has all 3 keys, and he also took Maeve's world walking ability, which is pretty badass.
Yes.
So that is all I have on that section. You have anything
Yep.
else?
No.
Okay.
The only thing I, like, was wondering about is he keeps talking about Sorsha. Like, it
Uh-huh.
feels like he hasn't quite let how he felt about her go. Does that come across to you as well? Like, he keeps talking
Yeah,
about a loss?
I don't think that it's that he hasn't let her go. I think that he feels responsible for that.
Because he kinda made it sound like he was like, he lost his love, and I'm like, "Has Manon not healed that yet?" That was just something I was wondering.
I don't think that part will ever actually be able to be fully healed because if you look back at it, like, that's a different version of Dorian. Like, that was his one true love for that Dorian, and now he's grown into this completely different mindset, all new power, like, just completely different person. But I think
Yeah.
Sorsha will always have his heart for that time in his life. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
he
I guess
carries a
that
lot
makes
of
sense.
guilt.
I guess that makes sense. It kind of felt like he was just kinda I don't know, it was still rubbing on him in a more like he still was kind of in love with her. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. It was interesting.
Well, I feel like Selena's also still probably in love with Sam. Like, whenever you lose someone, whenever things are perfect or, like, still new and fresh and like, all of that, then it's you never got to see it play out and maybe end, on
Yeah.
your terms.
I guess it's because we don't really hear her mention Sam again, like, but he kinda it's
Yeah.
still there, it's still at the front for him. It was just,
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder when that would stop for him. Interesting.
Well, I think if you look at the timelines and you take out the book where he was Vogue, like the entire Queen of Shadows, then he really only had Tower of Dawn until now. So I think that's only like a 2 or 3 month span.
Yeah, I guess that's
He
true.
hasn't had a whole lot of time. Maybe he'll get
No, you're
there.
right.
We'll
No, you're
see.
right. It's hard to know because the books are so bloody long, you don't know how much time's actually really passed.
I know, right? Okay, anything else on that one?
Nope, nope, I'm good.
Okay. So let's go to Orinth, where they're there and, a bunch of the armies and stuff are there. And I love that they referred to Aelin's allies as Her Majesty's Armada. I thought
Yep.
that was pretty exciting. So then Morath shows up with 100,000 soldiers and 3 witch towers.
Yes.
and the sheer scale of this is pretty overwhelming.
Mhm.
Like, we see, like, multiple times throughout this, like, little victories and then huge setbacks. So, like,
Yeah.
they were able to take down 2 of the towers, but then 1,000 Iron Teeth arrive, you know?
Yeah.
And so they start to lose hope, and Adian tells Lysandra to take Evangeline and run, and then he also tells her that he loves her. And then
Yeah.
the 3rd
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna no, I was the way your face just pulled was how I felt when I read that.
Yeah, anything to do with Adian and Lysandra now, I'm like, "Nope, too late.
Yeah.
Your girl deserves better."
Mhm.
So, then the 13 show up with thousands of Krakens, and they'll handle the Iron Teeth, which is very exciting.
Yes.
We also see here in this section, like, several moments where Darrow starts to redeem himself.
Yes.
So, the first one is when he asks Evangeline to be his messenger to kinda distract her. So,
Yes.
enjoyed that, but I enjoyed more that she was, like, obsessed with the Krakens and she wants to be a Kraken witch.
Yeah. That was
And
really
that
cute.
Yeah, and then they gave her a red cape and everything. So,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, I'm like, "Okay, everybody seems to, like, gravitate swords and accept her. She's, like, the only kid." And then I was like, "Wait a second, she's the only kid." Is she the only kid we've seen in the entire series?
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, "Where are all the kids?"
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I never really thought about
I
that until
didn't
you just said that. I'm
either.
like, wow, yeah.
I mean, I guess it might mention women and children maybe once or twice, like, in the town, but that's it.
Yeah. Like, you know that there are kids around, but
Yeah,
it's not really, yeah,
just
predominant.
Okay. I love we see Lysandra shift into a sea dragon. Super badass that she reinforces her scales with spider silk. Super smart.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed reading that while she was fighting in the sewers, as the witches were falling, she was bringing the Krakens over to the shore and she was pinning the Iron Teeth down.
I love
Super
that.
cool.
She's
And
the
it made
you
a
know what?
comment.
She's the heroine for me in this whole series. Like, she
Yeah,
is, yeah,
she's
badass.
pretty badass. Yeah, I feel like her power is. I mean, obviously, Aelin's got like this strong blasts of power that she can put out, but Lysandra is just so. I don't know. She's able to be anything and everything, and she's so smart. She's so
Yes,
smart.
she really
So
is.
it did make a comment in here that like put a pretty cool imagery in my head about the looking out at the battlefield and seeing the different blood colors. Like, how cool might not be the right word, but interesting would it be to be able to look out and be like, oh, a bunch of Og died over there. Oh, look, all the witch died over there, and just see red, blue, and black blood all over the battlefield.
Yeah.
I
It
think,
was quite the visual. It's almost like
yeah,
one of those splatter paintings, right? Like, yeah,
yeah, super
beautiful
cool.
picture. Yes.
So then Iskra shows up and slams into Abraxos, and her mount bites down on his neck. And we see her laughing, and Manon like pretty much crying and telling Abraxos she loves him. Did you think we were gonna lose him there?
Yes, I kinda did.
I did
I know,
too.
'cause everyone's talking about how, like, sad and stuff it is, and I'm like, "Oh, please, no. I can do pretty much anybody, but no. No,
But not
no.
Abraxos, our little puppy
No.
wyvern.
No,
Yeah, it
I
was
can't do it."
pretty emotional. So I'm glad that that didn't happen. I would be very upset. So then
Yes.
Petra shows up and slams into them and is able to get Abraxos to release them. And she basically calls dibs on Iskra, which fucking I'm glad because if anyone deserves
Me
it,
too.
it's her. But
Yes, I
I
agree with you there.
really enjoyed the scene of them going up and diving down and her circling around them. Like that was so cool.
It was very cool.
And then she said for
It
Keely.
was great. It was so well written.
Yeah, it
So
really
well
was.
written.
Okay. Iskra and her mount die. Good. Bye. And then, the witch tower's advancing and it's gonna take everybody out. So in order to save everybody, Shen says, "Leave Manon, bring our people home." And then the
Yep.
13 made the yielding.
I know.
Did you handle
That
that?
really, yeah. I can feel my eyes welling again. Like,
Yeah,
that was a really hard part to read.
it was.
Heartbreaking.
I mean, I still definitely cried this read through, but the first time I read it, like my first time experiencing it, I cried so hard. Like
I
I
did
couldn't
too.
breathe. I was like clutching my chest. I'm like,
Yeah.
like not breathe. And like
Yeah.
still, days and weeks and whatever later, anytime anything would pop up as a reminder, on any social media, and I'd be like, 13, live Manon. I'd
Yeah.
start
Well,
crying again.
yeah. I can feel it. I can feel
Yeah.
it. Don't do it.
So
Don't
much
do it.
so that actually my friend and I, we read this book together, so we have a
Yeah.
scale. It's not like on a 1 to 10, how much did you cry? It's on it's on a 1 to 13 is our ranking scale, because
Aw.
13, I've never cried that hard in a book. Actually, Atmosphere, I sobbed. I cried really hard in that one too, but not even close to the 13.
No, that book was that slammed me too, but no, this is probably the most devastating part of any book I've probably ever read.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. So then, instead of the darkness blast that usually happens, light erupted from them, which what I wonder what made the difference in that, you know? If it
I
was
wonder if it's I wonder if it's because they let go of the path they were on, because they were taught to believe that that was their destiny, was to kill people and be bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because the 13 had shed that and they had hope and love and
Yeah, because they were
yeah.
doing it for a different reason other than just to destroy, it
Yeah.
was to save, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Also, though, I one thing that I wish in this scene, I think that the matron deserved not such a quick and just, like, her death was overshadowed by the 13, and I wanted to
Yeah.
see and feel her die.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I
That's
felt like I didn't get my vengeance.
Yeah, we didn't get justice like we should have for
No.
all the evil things that she's put us through throughout the series.
Yes. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. So then Manon, falls to her knees. She's devastated. And so is Abraxos. He lost a mate.
I
So sad.
know.
So, okay. So more Morath are coming, right? And then Murtaugh says he'll fight and then immediately dies.
Yeah.
Not that that's funny. That's not funny, but like,
I
come
know,
on,
but
old man.
it is kind of
It was like the next page. It was like, I'm going to go fight. Oh, and he fell. Like,
gone. Yeah. Okay.
okay, right.
We wrap
So
that up quick.
everybody's sad and grieving him. Yeah, right? She's like, "Oh, I need to add another death in here. Let's make this 14 now." So,
Yeah.
everyone's sad. Adian's crying, and then Lysandra kisses him and tells him that after the war, she'll still be there for him. Like, excuse me? After everything that he said and did to you? I don't know.
Yeah.
War
I don't know.
war kinda
I
makes
kind of feel
people.
like she's yeah. I think that she was feeling that too, that she'd rather have him and move forward than live in the dark,
Yeah, and I mean, if
forgiving
you think
him.
that, you might not have tomorrow, why not embrace the things that you do have today?
Yeah. He can always make it up to her later, right? You just have to get through what they were going through. And they literally
Yeah,
thought they
I
were probably gonna
guess.
die. I'm not being funny. I kinda thought
Yeah.
everyone was gonna die.
Yeah, seriously. So, but he mentions here,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, yeah, she could be my partner. She could be my mate." And I'm like, "How would you have ever called your mate?" I don't even remember what he called her, like, "rotten hell, you bitch," or whatever. He said some really
Yeah.
hurtful things to her, and I'm like, "Ah." But then again, I guess Rowan and Aelin are mates, and he was kind of a dick to her, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Maybe it's just a Faye thing.
Yeah. Okay. So they run out of weapons, and they all kinda come to terms with the fact that they're gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah.
They'll either surrender and be slaves, or they will fight and they will die. And, a little bit more redeeming for Darrow, he gives Adian the sword of Orinth back, and he
Yeah.
recognizes Caraver as a place and Lysandra as its lady, and he recognizes Evangeline
Yeah.
as her heir, and then even names Evangeline as his heir, which was pretty cool.
I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, what a turnaround for Darrow. Like, at the beginning, I think, of Empire of Storms, I was like, "I hate this guy." But
I did.
honestly, looking back, I kind of understand him. Like, he doesn't know
Yeah.
Aelin. He has been running this territory for the last decade with these lords, and, like, this little 19-year-old girl with all this swagger and, entitlement walks in, and, like, I kinda get it. I do, and she does walk in, with, an old prostitute and, someone who was with another queen. I understand him, even though I don't like the way he handled it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, plus she was hiding all that time too. Like, she could have come back at any point. You know what I mean? Like, she
Yeah,
could have put the feelers out there that she was still alive. So as far as he was concerned, she was hiding. She was shirking her responsibilities.
for sure.
I get it. I didn't like it either. I think that he could have done better, but I guess you can kind of see where he was coming from.
Yeah, I do like though that he's had such a great redemption arc, and that
Yeah.
now I was like, I hate him, and now I'm like, oh, he's kind of got a little soft heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I liked that. I liked that. It was a good part of the
same.
book.
So they're in the last, few hours of their lives, and they fall back. People are preparing to die. Adian goes to prepare to die, and then they hear a horn, and they see freaking rooks and warriors and Aelin riding
Yeah.
in on the Lord of the North. Like,
Yep. That was
that was
so cool. That was
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, like, we know he's on her team, but, like, to allow her to ride him into battle? What?
Yeah. That was something.
Okay, so we'll come back to this. Let's jump to the beginning of Aelin and her crew. So, do you have anything else before the rest of that battle?
No, no, we're good.
So they start off in the Farian Gap, right? And all of the Iron Teeth witches are not there. Side note, it mentions that Irene says that she can heal a lead, but it would take weeks and she literally has to like break her bones and regrow them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that sounds yeah.
F Vernon for letting her live like that her entire life whenever he could have had her healed. Ooh, it makes me hate him so much more.
Yeah. I can't stand him.
Well, speaking of him, they find him there, yeah? Uh, and he's makes Aelin swear not to kill him, and so for information, he tells her, of all of the soldiers marching on Orin. And this is kind of where she realizes that, oh, this is a more urgent than she already knew it was urgent, but I think she was going in for like revenge. And now it's like, oh, this is legit for survival. Like we have to get there now. But I do love that after all that, she just chose not to unchain him. Like she's not killing him. And she's like, you chained and locked a lead up for 10 years. Let's see how you fare. That death was, like, cathartic for me, it was so satisfying. Even though we didn't see it happen, I love the way it happened.
Yes. I think it was very well done. I think that's probably the best way to have handled it.
I agree. Even though she, promised Alid that she would make it quick, this was poetic.
Yeah, but Alid also didn't step in like she could have. She could have gone and
Yeah.
ended it herself, but she didn't. She walked
I
away.
feel like I would want to, and I feel like for Alid's character, she would want to as well. Like, she's not shy of death or anything like
That's
that, so
what
I
I
don't know
mean.
why she didn't. I'm glad she didn't because I like how it was handled, but
Yeah. But I think Aelin was kind of giving her the choice. Like you said, you wanted it to be quick. Are you really sure? Because you can go
yeah.
quite slow. And she was like, okay, let's go. She just left. Slow. Like that.
Perfect. Perfect. Bye, Vernon. So
Yep. See ya.
then Aelin and Rowan, makes a tattoo and he's, giving them matching tattoos. And then the next scene, Alid is getting into the bath and Larkin's like, ooh, bath time is a dangerous time. And then she's like, show me everything. And it says, so Lorcan did. And that's like a huge quote in the SJM universe. So Lorcan did. Like, were you satisfied with that or did you want more? SJM said that she wouldn't write virgin sex scenes, which I respect, but
Mhm.
also I don't think I would have wanted to read about this tiny, tiny, tiny little cripple girl with this massive warrior that's 3 times her size as
Yeah.
her first time.
Yeah. I was okay
Aw,
with where that I was good. I was good. I didn't need any more than that.
for sure. Okay, so then Dorian shows up with all 3 keys, success, and then we get the Kale and Dorian reunion. I know
That was
that's the one you said you
beautiful.
were looking most forward to. Did you enjoy that? Yeah, I love that they were
I
running
I
towards each
thought it
other
was
crying.
beautiful. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was beautiful. It was so sweet. It was just what I wanted.
I love them. Okay, so they have 2 options now. Option 1, go to Terrasen and fight, and option 2, end it now and, put the keys back and kill Erewhon. So they put it to a vote and they vote to kill Erewhon. So, but obviously I would be the same. Rowan doesn't want to accept this. So they, suggest pairing with Dorian and doing half power, which great idea. I'm all for that.
Yes.
So they sneak off and they, join hands and she slams the keys into her arms where they dissolve. And we see them going through all of these worlds and doors and stuff, which is really cool. But then Dorian's dad shows up and Aelin like shoves Dorian out and is like, bye, someone's got to rule. Always the protector.
Yeah.
But then, his dad sends a message to her from her parents, which was super sweet. And then they're
Yeah.
able to forge the lock, but her magic vanishes. And then we see Aelin offer the gods a bargain. She's like, hey, why don't you leave Erewhon and Elena? And then freaking Deanna obliterates Elena and is like, we don't make deals or we don't make bargains with mortals. Keep Erewhon. F you, Deanna. That part pissed me
Yeah.
off. Like, this Aelin has been covering y'all's asses her entire life. And you're just
Yep.
gonna treat her like that? I don't like you.
No, yeah,
So
that was it
then,
for me.
yeah, no, and I think Deanna is the worst one too. She's the one that came and like took over Aelin's body whenever she was wearing the key during that one battle too. So I think Deanna is absolutely my least favorite of the gods. Yeah. So the gods all leave, but Mala kind of lingers and gives Aelin back a little kernel of power, which is great. And then we learn that Rowan
Mhm.
had actually hid word marks in their tattoos so that she could find her way home. So Aelin seals the god in a hell realm. hell realm, and she leaps through the gate. Do
Yep.
you think that she made the right call in sealing these gods in?
You know what? When I was reading it, I didn't think so, because 'cause I'm like, "What are you gonna do now? Like, what are you gonna do?" But
Yeah.
I can see why she made that decision. I do, I get it. She's such a bleeding heart, man. She is such a big softie.
Yeah. The first time I read it through, I was like, "I don't know why she did that. Why did she do that?" But in reading it this time, like, it's kind of poetic justice, man. Like, these gods have been, expecting all of these mortals to, like, bow to them and submit to them, and she just trapped them the same way you guys trapped her however long ago to try to make her do
Yep.
your bidding, so, yeah. It's kinda scary if you think about, like, the butterfly effect of what's to come, but I didn't hate it,
No, I didn't either.
especially after Deanna.
You can kinda see, like, she's trying to free her people, and they were just another load of things that were trapping all the people. I get it. I think she did the right thing.
Yeah. Okay, so for anybody listening who has not read the entire ACOTAR series, go ahead and skip forward like a minute. But did you notice that whenever she was flying over all of the worlds, she flew over one world with a winged fey male standing beside a heavily pregnant female, and he blasted his dark power to slow her down?
Yes, I did notice that.
Did you catch that? Did you make the connection that that's probably Rhysand?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I
Okay.
saw. When I read that, I was like, "Yeah, that was a knock." I liked it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So then that puts it into perspective. Like, so I always thought that Throne of Glass took place like in a different time frame, but apparently this is taking place at the same time frame as Akatar, which is really cool. So then she sees Aurelia and she jumps back through to her world. And she's only got a little bit of magic left, and she gave up her human life, which I feel like we see hitting her pretty hard, but I like that. That just, to me, is kind of symbolic of like you've been changing identities and living, these multiple lives forever, and now you're just you.
It made sense to me.
So
It
also
felt
Dorian,
very poetic.
yeah, I like that. But still, it would be weird to like lose a part of yourself, like especially whenever you've been in that
Oh, for
form the
sure.
majority of your life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, but Dorian's power also has a bottom now, which I don't hate either. Like, yes, he's super powerful, but I think he always craves control. And I think that by having a bottom
Yes.
to his power, like he'll be able to fully master it and have that control. Not that he showed any lack
Yeah.
of that to begin with, though.
No. No, he didn't.
So, but she is now a god killer to add to her multiple other titles that she's accumulated throughout the series.
Oh, yeah, she's got a ton.
Yes, she does. But then Alid gives Aelin Silba's ring and says, "You owe it to my mother to live," which I love that. That was
I did
sweet
too.
and a good reminder to fucking don't give up, man.
Yeah.
So then the little folk and the Lord of the North bring her to Orant, and they arrive. This is where our storylines mesh up, and they start fighting. And then we see Lysandra come and, rescue Aelin when a wyvern's about to take her down. And, freaking female solidarity. Like, that's the theme throughout this entire series.
For sure. For sure.
And then Aelin and Ansel go and they, turn the catapults away from the castle to destroy the other two towers, which I really enjoyed because
Yep.
that's what Sam did in the Pirate Lord part of Assassin's Blade. That's the exact same way that he took down that, tower there. It kind of makes his death
Yeah,
feel,
that's right, yeah.
not in vain, I guess. So I'm wondering, do you think that she consciously
Yeah.
knew or thought of Sam whenever she did that, or do you think it was just her instincts?
No, that's really hard to say. I'd like to think that that was like, a little tribute to Sam in a way without
Mm-mm.
saying that. Yeah, I'm gonna choose to believe that because I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I was like, I don't know. It probably was
Yeah.
just instinctual, but at the same time, it would be kind of beautiful if she did that, like to honor him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
So, like I said earlier, small victories followed up immediately by more, destruction. So they take out two towers, and then Morath has another host join in, and they basically trap them. And then we see the western gate is starting to fall. So Gabriel
Yeah.
decides that he'll hold it back so that Adian can close the gate. And he gets sealed out and he dies. How'd
Yeah.
you handle that death?
It felt unnecessary. It felt like
I
she
do.
was just trying to
I
kill
think so
people off
too.
to hurt us. It felt like he could have got back in and the gate would have been sealed. I don't know. I
Yeah,
felt angry, really angry.
I did
I'm
too.
thinking,
I did too. And I feel
yeah,
like, yeah, he was doing it to ensure that Adian has a future, I guess. It was an act of love, but at the same time, a bigger act of love would be to help win the battle and then be there for him to build a relationship afterwards.
yeah, Like, it felt really I don't know, it just felt stupid and needless. Like, I was reading it, I'm like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah. So one of my questions I
Yeah.
put in there is why do you think she chose for him to die over somebody else? Because I felt like it was like
I
that
want
too.
I kind of feel like that they wanted I'm pissed still at Aelin, but I'm wondering if it was a way to try and make us feel more sympathy towards him. He lost the father without building the relationship. You know what I mean? I wonder
Yeah.
if it was kinda I don't know. It just I don't know. It was really, really weird. It was a really weird thing to do.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, maybe it's karma for Adian being a twat this whole time."
Maybe. You never
I
know.
mean, so do you think that whenever Gabriel died, that he died thinking that Adian hated him, or do you think he actually understood him?
I think he understood. I don't think he died thinking that there wasn't hope for rebuilding their relationship. Think that he felt this was the best path. It seemed really stupid. It didn't even seem like within what Gabrielle would have done normally. It just I don't know. It just didn't
No,
fit for me. I don't know.
I didn't either, and honestly, the first time I read it, I was like, "Wait a second, what? Did he just die?" And
Yeah.
it didn't hit me as hard because the
Yeah.
way that it was written wasn't as, like it wasn't as impactful, it wasn't there was no, like, lead
No.
up or build up to it or any of the emotions that come afterwards.
Nope. No, it was
Yeah,
yeah, I was really, really angry. I was sad because I really liked him and I would have liked to have seen where he would have ended up, but it just I don't know, I was
yeah.
more annoyed about it than anything else.
Yeah, I think that she does a
Stupid.
really good job at writing, emotional scenes, and I don't think that this was her best written one, on top of the fact that it was probably unnecessary.
Yeah. I kind of felt like she was killing people off to try and upset us some more, and it just
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't fit.
You know what, though? I'm glad it was him because if it was anybody else in the cadre, I may have been able to accept a Lorcan death, but, like, if it was Fenris, I would've lost my
Yeah,
shit.
no, no.
Love him.
No, no. Yeah, you're right. I had to if of all of them, it would have had to have been him. You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah, you're right. There wouldn't have been anyone else that I would have accepted. No, you're right.
yeah, especially after losing 13, even though we only really know and loved, like, 2 of them, but, it's just
I
the
felt
their
it was Manon's loss.
I
I
know,
felt
it was what they
her
represent to
pain.
her.
Yeah, that's her family. That's
Yeah,
what
and
hurt me. I'm like, "Oh my god. That's a lot of
I
people to
did
lose in one go."
it is. I did really love Astrid a lot, though, like, a
Yeah,
lot. Like, if we would have gotten
yeah,
more
I did too.
time with her, and even the little bit of time that we got, I loved her, like, she didn't take any shit, she stood up for what she believed was right, even if it could have gotten her killed, like, she's gone through some trauma, and she still has this
Exactly.
happy-go-lucky attitude. I love her.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I just for me, it was the loss for Manon, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that is a lot of people to lose."
Absolutely.
That
Yeah,
was horribly tragic. Horribly
and for
tragic.
Abraxos to
Yes.
lose a mate.
That's yeah, that's agony. Oh
Yeah,
my word. But at
I
least he
know.
lived.
Okay, so do what?
So I'm glad he lived. Like, I know he's in
Oh
pain, but
my
at least
gosh,
he's
me too.
alive.
Me too. Okay, so they're battling. Rowan's gotten shot, and an iron shard is in his arm, and he quite literally cuts into his own skin and rips it out so that he's able to shift.
Yeah.
And Maeve and Erewhon shows up, and Aelin goes down there by herself to buy her people time to evacuate because they still don't think they're going to win
Yes.
this war.
Mhm.
And then Maeve wants to end it, but Erewhon is kind of letting her talk. And this is the first time that we see Erewhon's confidence falter whenever Aelin tells him that she's got, all these
Yeah.
healers and they're working to expel these Valg from their hosts.
Yep.
So then we'll split this up a little bit. Erewhon answers Irene's call, and then Aelin stays down with Maeve. So we'll stay there
Yeah.
because Maeve says, "There are no gods left to watch and none to help you." To which Aelin responds, "I am a god."
Yep.
That line
I
was
like
probably one
that.
of my favorite lines in this whole book. Like,
Yep.
way to fucking go.
Yep.
So they're fighting, and Maeve uses her mind power, and Aelin's like, it's like, "Wake up, Aelin." And like, how traumatic. Because we see how much that affected her. Like, oh. But also, I have another question. So we see Maeve use, black power lashing out and like all of this. So she can actually use, brute force to fight. Yet she always falls back to this mind control and manipulation. And like, why is that where she's comfortable instead of, why does she want the slow manipulation instead of just going for what she wants and winning it?
Oh, that is a really interesting question. I kind of wonder if maybe her doing it herself doesn't sit so well with her, but having other people do the dishing out of the pain and the killing is easier for her to sit with because she's kind of one step away from it. Maybe she's not quite as okay with that as she makes it seem. 'Cause she's kind of a fraidy
Yeah.
cat. Like, she hid for ages. She just hid
Yeah.
back and hung back, and she was afraid. She's a big fucking whiny pussy, really. She didn't get involved in it. She could have helped protect the realm, but she chose to hide instead. So, I don't think that she can handle it so well. I don't think she's strong enough for that.
Okay. I can see that. Okay, so then the cadre shifts and they go help her whenever it's like, "Oh, yeah, Rowan shifted, Fenris shifted." What about Lorcan? What is Lorcan's second form? It quite literally
I
never
don't
says
know.
it in the book,
No.
and
I
it says
was
that
gonna say,
all
I actually
Fae
don't
have
know.
a second form. So unless is he demi-Fae?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I don't
Oh, I
think
don't know.
so because they're her Fae warriors, you know? Like, I don't know, but it's never once mentioned it.
No. I no. I've got no notes on that.
I did just whenever she was going through who all was shifting, and then she's like, "And Lorcan went over there." And I'm like, "Well, why didn't he shift?" Okay, so they all get trapped in her mind power, and they're all kinda seeing their own terrors. Aelin's able to pull them out of it, where then Rowan shares his power with Aelin, and I absolutely love the symbolism of them getting their fire crowns on both of their heads.
Yes.
And then freaking came out of nowhere was Aelin sketching word marks and all of the Fae from Terrasen coming through riding wolves like, "Excuse me, ma'am, when did you get in contact with them and how?" Like,
Yep.
she's literally covering all of her bases.
Yeah, she thoroughly
So
planned
then
this.
Maeve
Thoroughly.
do what?
So she really planned this. Like, you can see just how well planned it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So then Maeve says she's a god, which rings pretty freaking hollow after Aelin saying it. Like, I don't know why you think that you can say it and it's gonna have the same impact. Yours is coming
Yeah,
straight
I
from
would.
ego.
Yeah.
So then Fenris uses his magic for the first time since all the torturing and stabs Maeve in through the heart, which I
Ye
was cheering him on for sure.
Me too. I was so
And
glad.
yeah, and then Aelin puts Silva's ring on Maeve's finger and we see it destroy her, which
Mhm.
hell yes.
Yes.
I don't know, I actually really enjoyed her death. Like, I would have liked it to be a little bit more, like, prolonged and stuff, but time is of the essence here, people are dying, and I like that
Oh, for
Fenris
sure.
was a part of that kill because he really deserved that
Me
as
too.
well.
For sure. That's healing right there. That's
Yeah,
healing.
yeah. Okay, so up on the roof with Erewhon, I think they were on a roof, we learn, and this was one of your theories early on that you were right about, that the healers are executioners.
Yeah.
So and that
Yeah.
they had actually yeah, you
I
said
was
that. You
really
were like,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah." You're like, "1 point for me." So, also
No, it
that
makes
they
sense.
they were able to create the keys and that he's hoping that Irene can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I really enjoyed the team effort in killing Erewhon, how everybody up there played a part. Like, first of all,
I
it was
did
the
too.
lead's idea, and then Dorian was, pretending to be Irene, and they had trapped him, and Lysandra pins him down, and Elide stabs him and pins him down, and then like, I love that every single woman that's been underestimated in some way throughout the series was a part of this, big bad Vogue King's death.
I did too. I love that.
So then Irene starts to work her magic, and Dorian gives her his raw magic. And I get that, like, there were plenty of other things to focus on here, but I was really curious to see what his magic in the power sharing would feel like. Because when Aelin and Rowan share, like, she's like, oh, his ancient, ice cold, powerful, like, it's symbolic of him. So, like,
Yeah.
what does this raw magic feel like whenever you get literally every type of magic flooding into your veins? Like, I bet that felt so weird and cool at the same time.
Yeah, I bet. I kind of envisioned like a vibration, like your whole body is kind of like thrumming with it. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder though, like, because I mean, we see in the end of Tower of Dawn, like all the healers were sharing their magic with her, but that's a
Yeah.
power that she's familiar with, you know?
Yeah.
But
It
now
would have
she's
just made her power feel more large. Like
yeah, but
just
now she's getting
made it feel bigger.
ice and fire and shape shifting and all of these other unfamiliar forms. Like, I don't know. I bet it was pretty intense for her. I
Intense.
would have liked to
Oh, yeah.
hear that written instead of just imagining it on my own. But then Dorian asks Erewhon, what's his name? You took it. And we find out that his dad's name was Dorian.
Yeah. I never noticed all the way through that we never did find out his name, but it was missing. Like, it was not something I'd noticed.
I actually noticed it because I had read Akosar first, and people were like, "What's the King of Hybern's name? What is Rasanne's last name?" So, like, it's a theme with SJM is she doesn't give us names, and then they end up being meaningful or important. I don't know, but I remember after Queen of Shadow kind of not believing in his dad, but I think after reading this, I do believe that he wasn't an evil guy and he was just Falg possessed. I believe him now.
Yeah, after he came and took Dorian's spot, that's when
Yeah,
I was kind of like, yeah, yeah, okay, you're right,
yeah,
yeah. It's just it seemed really weird that there was times where he was himself, that he
yeah.
must have been pretty powerful too, really. Like,
Very powerful. But I mean, if
yeah.
he could also have had the same mindset as Kaltain, where she said she just didn't think she deserved it and she raged against it. So he just
Yeah.
must have had that mindset on top of being powerful and maybe couldn't obliterate him entirely, but was able to, peek through every now and then.
Yeah, managed to wrestle control when it was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, he was protecting Dorian, I guess, and yeah. I said he was irredeemable, I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
Eat
It
my
happens.
words.
So then Irene succeeds and Erewhon dissolves and all of his
Yep.
grunts fall. What a quiet victory. I love that. Okay. So then after she kills Erewhon, all the people of Orinth are chanting Irene's name because she's the real
Yes.
hero here. I mean,
Yes.
team effort, yes, but so then after that, Falcon and Lysandra meet. And I know you were really looking forward to that one. Did you like that one?
I did. I think it was really well done. I
Yeah,
just thought it was really well done.
I
I love how Dorian kind of he meets somebody and you feel like already really important to him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you already, yeah, he has that way about him. And I really loved that.
So I did really like their meeting, but also like I'm a little sour whenever it comes to Adian. So like Falcon told Lysandra, he's like, "Oh yeah, my fortune is yours if you need it." And she's like, "Oh, I have everything I need." And she grabs Adian's hand. And I'm like, "Really?" I don't know. I can't get on
Still
board.
love him. I know, but she loves him. And the wars
I
taught them anything is that they probably said and did things that none of them would have normally have
know.
done, right? And
Yeah.
Aiden's got plenty of time to, make it up to her.
Yeah,
Treat her
thankfully.
really, really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So then a small random thing is Dorian says, "I am human," and then Damaris warms in his hand. And I think he was just so scared to ask that the whole time because he wasn't sure. And Maeve even insinuated at one point while they were in Morath that he may be part Bog.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Such a bitch.
Yeah, yeah, she is. I don't think it was an I'm gonna ask if I'm human and get this. It was like I am human, and I think he decided that even if he's got some darkness in him, he's still human.
Yeah. Well, we saw that with Kale, right? When he was fighting himself to be able to walk again. So we know that this is something that actually happens. And I think Dorian making the decision that he was human probably eased some of that darkness too.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was great.
yeah. So then everyone goes to visit Gabriel, and Aelin, gives him the blood oath
Oh, I know.
so that he can, be part of everything and be buried in Harrison and,
Yeah.
be remembered as one of theirs, which that was really
Yeah.
sweet. And then it says she sings ancient words of mourning. And I was wondering if it's the same song that she was singing at Nehemiah's grave. Because remember, Kale walked up on her while she was singing in a different language?
Yeah. I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
And then Larkin goes up to the lead and is like, "Ask me to stay, ask me to marry you." And he says yes. So we have a Lord Lorcan Locken.
I know. I thought that was freaking hilarious. That
I
was so
cackled. That's
funny.
so funny. And, like,
Even better.
also that weird ass proposal, I mean, it's kind of fitting for him, he's not one to be vulnerable or super open with his emotions.
He's not romantic. So that was probably as romantic as he gets.
Yeah. But also though, like he's gone, centuries without a belonging at all, really. And he's
No.
saying that he's gonna, tie his life to her so they can die together. So now he wants Ruth's to be a part of something, which that's huge growth for him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody had so much character growth in this entire series.
I agree. I think she did a really good job of taking us on their journeys with them and making us really understand who they are at their core and how much they had changed and adapted and found themselves, I guess. Because that's kind of what it was for me. Each one of these people, each one of my favorites, found themselves
Yeah.
after all of this. Yeah, they became who they were supposed to be. And I really
I
love
think
that.
everybody in the whole series did, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a single person who didn't.
No.
Radiant.
Alien.
Oh, wait a second.
You know what? I have such I'm still really angry because she deserves so much better, but at the same time, it's war. He was angry. He's not very good at the emotional regulation. So he's got a
No.
lot to learn. He's just young, right? He's like 22,
Yeah.
23.
And,
He's a little bit older. And men don't brains don't grow until they're like
yeah.
30. They're not mature until then. So really I should, kind of give him a little bit of grace, but I just
Well,
still mad.
we say that she deserves better, and she does, but, like, who's to say that she puts her romance on, the top of her list? She's a lady.
Yeah.
She is
Yeah.
a lady. She has her own land. She got to name her land. Like, she's got an
Yeah.
awesome heir. So, like, she's got a lot going for her. If she wants Adian by her side while she does all that, then that's her call.
Yeah. I
I
think
can
she
turn
will have better I think she'll have control over that too. Like, "Hey, I
Yeah,
don't wanna be spoken to like that again. You're in the fucking naughty corner." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
now there's no war.
He'll be
I
trying
think
to make
she'll
it
I
up
think
to
she'll
her.
rein him in.
I agree. So, other thing that I absolutely loved is that Irene wants to open a Tory Sesame in Rifthold. I love that so much.
I do too. I
Yes,
love that too.
perfect next step for her since she actually had to leave
Yeah.
all her healers and stuff because that's her passion. So then all of the late Krakens arrive with a purple flower from the waist because the curse has been broken.
Yep.
Beautiful. And that is
I thought that was
thanks
really
to the
beautiful.
13. And then it mentioned that Vaughn is still out there and that some, Fae that came through the portal might be of interest or know him or whatever. And I'm like, I honestly get the feeling that she forgot about Vaughn and that she'd randomly
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, shit, there's another cadre member. Oh, he's still out there." Like, because she mentioned him in passing a couple times, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it felt like I felt like she'd forgotten, like Sergio Maas had
yeah,
forgotten and kind of was like, "Oh, yeah, hang on a minute. Someone's gonna ask about this."
yeah, oh, he's still out there. He's fine.
Oh,
But it did
fuck.
say, like, "Oh, I wonder if we find him and come back, can he be part of the court?" So it'd be interesting to have a, like, years later and see, where everybody is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did really enjoy the Aelin's court. She's decided they will be voting on things, which, directly solidifies that she wants a better world, where everybody has a voice. And then she had her coronation, and another Darrow moment is he gave her the king's flame to wear for her crown, which I loved.
I love
He's
that. I love
fully
that.
accepted her now. And then
Yes, about time.
Adian finally takes the blood oath, which I found pretty underwhelming for for
Yeah, it
how
really was, like, "Hey, I've already got, like, hundreds of these guys, but let's do you next. Come on."
Yeah. This has been your lifelong dream, and we've been hearing you cry about it for freaking 8 books now. Let's do this.
Oh, it was funny. It was really underwhelming. It was.
But I did really, really love that the little folks showed up and gave her Map's crown,
Yeah,
and
I
that
love
she
that
is their
too.
queen too. I love it, love it.
Yeah, it was sweet.
I also really liked that after her coronation, it said the crowd let out a cheer that was loud enough to rattle the stars, which is a callback from what Elena told her to do in, like, the first or second book. That was cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then Kale gets a letter from his mom, and she and his brother wanna come live with them, which that's perfect.
Yes. That was I told you that I needed Kale to have his happily ever after, you remember?
He's got
I
it,
think I said that in the
yeah.
second episode. I felt like it happened, and
It
I think
did.
that was the final piece. Yeah.
He's got, like, a
It was
full
beautiful.
circle of happiness too, like, his mom and his
Yeah.
brother are back, his dad's a twat, I don't care what he does, and he's got a wife who is
And a
going to
baby.
have a career there and a
Yeah.
baby, and they said they even brought the golden couch with them, which I found funny and kind
Yeah.
of pointless, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, I really felt like this Kale's story ended exactly the way I needed it to
I
in the
agree.
film. Yeah.
I feel
Beautiful.
like pretty much everybody's story ended really happily, except the open-endedness of Dorian and Manon's, but it was perfect for them. So, like, okay, so
Yeah.
the Rukin had found wyvern eggs, right? And so some
Yeah.
of them were gonna stay to train an aerial legion that was gonna become Dorians. But
Correct.
then
Yeah.
when Dorian asked Manon to come back and help train, I love that Irene was like, "You can just marry each other so you don't have to pretend." And Manon was like, "We'll see."
Yeah.
I think that is their own version of a happy ending because she's not closed off to it, and that
No.
open-ended response kind of allows her to keep her independence that she needs and craves, that's why he wouldn't marry
Yeah.
her, so I don't know, it was kinda playful and realistic. Although
Yeah,
I
I think you're right there.
yeah, although I would have
Yeah.
loved to see more, I think that that is the right way that one should have ended.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way you did. I would have liked for it to have made some kind of commitment to each other, but at the same time, Manon just lost her whole
Yeah.
family, and she's I don't know. I think it would have been really disingenuous to who she is as a person to, oh, I love you too. Let's have our happily ever after when she's grieving. So
Yeah.
I think it was the right call. I think that was about the best we could have
Yeah.
expected.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not just that. So we talk about the character growth for everybody throughout the series, and Manon has had so much character growth, but she is
Huge.
fighting to break free from, everything she's learned and known her entire life. Like she literally broke
Right.
from her family, like, her clan
Yeah.
and, formed herself. So she did
Yeah.
have so much growth and, conquering of that particular battle, but
Yeah.
whenever it comes to her vulnerability and, dependence and all of that, that's a battle in its own that she's gonna have to face at a later time. I don't think
Yeah,
she's
for
quite ready
sure.
to tackle that one right now.
Yeah. Well, she plus it felt for me like she had so much loss. Like it was really, I don't know. Like she had so much growth and she learned
Yeah.
and adapted and became a better person and she still lost so much. And that's
Oh,
gonna
I know.
really like
From and
I don't
on.
know, that's gonna hurt, man.
Now she's
Gonna
going
hurt.
back to the waste with all these Krakens, but she doesn't have any of the emotional, and deep connections with them. She'll form them, but, like, her
It's gonna take
13 are
time.
gone, her half-sister's gone. We got Glennis,
Yeah.
our
It's
great-grandmother.
just gonna take time. It's
Yeah,
gonna take time.
but, plus side, she gets to fly back and see Dorian, so
Yeah.
that one person, and
I
she
like
has a
that. I
dog.
think Dorian needed a time too.
Yeah, agreed. So, everybody's saying bye and tells Aelin and Rowan that she'll deliver their baby when the time comes, and then it mentions that Fae births are difficult, but I don't
Yeah.
remember reading that anywhere in this series, except for that tiny little blip, so I'm like, "How are they difficult? Is that why we didn't see kids?" But those are humans, so no?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like that was a
I don't know.
a weird and unnecessary detail to put in there without any other information.
I don't know. And I kind of thought it was because she is going to need help, and that just shows that she's gonna be there for the pair of them. Like, this is not gonna be an
Yeah.
easy thing for you guys. And she has knowledge that no one else really has, right? I don't know. I guess I didn't it kinda made sense, I think. Like, when I was
No,
reading
her
it, it made sense to me.
Yeah, her helping them, yes, but then it made a comment that Fae births are difficult, and I'm like, "Well, why that?" Anyway,
Isn't it like that in A Court of Thorns and Roses too?
that's what I'm wondering, but that was due to the wings, I think, not necessarily Fae. I
Uh,
think it's, like, unlikely that Fae get pregnant, I think it's harder for them to get pregnant, but, like, as far
mm,
as the births, I know it was just the wings that were the only
okay.
instance in
Yeah, I
that.
don't know. I
Anyway.
knew it was a thing in this realm of hers that, she doesn't like to make anything easy.
No. One thing though, like, that I found awesome, I don't know if you caught or not, but I absolutely love that she ended this book and the whole series on the exact same line that she ended the first book on. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
So, at the first book, it was like, "Oh, whatever, this is going on," and she's like, "Oh, tell me tomorrow." And then this one, Rowan was like, "I can give you a suggestion for what we should rebuild," and she was like, "Tell me tomorrow." So, the end of Throne of Glass first book and the end of Kingdom of Ash are the exact same line, which I
Oh,
loved.
cool. I didn't notice that. That
I
is
did
very
because I thought
cool.
it was a good ending for the first book. I was like, "Huh, I like the way she ended that." Like, it's open, it's positive, it's like, I'm not dealing with that right now, but enjoyed that.
Let's enjoy today.
Yeah, so then, let's see, last little things are the healers finally finished healing all the bog. Aideen
Yep.
and Lysandra are to be wed, and
Yeah.
then it ends with the King's Flame just blooming everywhere, which is yay.
Yeah.
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 Overall, as a whole, how did you feel about the series?
It's probably definitely in my top 3
Yeah.
series of all times for reading. I felt there was not very many plot holes, which 8 books, you're gonna find 1 or 2 because
Yeah,
you can't keep everything straight. But all in all, I think that the world building was fantastic. I think the characters were pretty amazing. I hated the people I was supposed to hate. Like, I think it was a really enjoyable, entertaining series for sure.
I agree. I think she really, thrives in character growth or character, development and plot twists. I love her little twisty, jaw-dropping moments.
Yeah. Yeah, she did a really good job, and you can really tell that her writing gets better as she goes on too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was good in Throne of Glass, but she got really good.
Oh, yeah.
She honed her craft.
Well, she, wasn't a little 16-year-old baby anymore. I wonder how old she was whenever the last one came out. I'm not sure,
Well, I have no idea.
but I wanna say at least in her 20s, late
Yeah, she'd
20s.
have had to have been. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed picking it apart in a different way because otherwise I would have just kind of surface read. Like I would have just,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
was
nice to have somebody to catch the things I didn't catch
yeah.
and then make me think more. Like I
Well,
really enjoyed this experience.
I was wondering if you got as I mean, obviously, you got a lot out of it deep diving because you caught everything, but, like, I was wondering because 'cause I've read this before, and I wonder if you enjoyed it as much doing a deep dive or if it, like, took you out of the experience in that moment to focus on other things.
No, because I think I had to think more and like I felt like I was more in the story rather
Okay.
than just kind of surface getting to the parts that I wanted to get to. I there was things that I would have missed otherwise, I think.
Yeah.
And then hearing your take on things too, just I don't know, it was for me, I feel like I got a better reading experience from
Good.
this, a
Okay,
much
good.
better one.
'Cause I was thinking about that moving forward. I'm like, "Ooh,
Although
if we
I've
do."
never done this
Yeah.
well, I've never done this before. On a series I have read, maybe I'll think differently, but for a
Yeah.
first read through, I think it was really, really good.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, maybe since I've read this and that was, an experience and this was both of our first deep dives, right? So I was thinking maybe
Yeah.
obviously we can do the SJM series, but then maybe moving forward, I can pick a series I've read for one, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you can pick one you've read that I haven't, and then maybe we pick one we both read so that we can kind of get the experience
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, I'd like to do
Yeah,
one
because
that
I'd
I
like
haven't
to
read
do
too at some point.
yeah, because I'd like to take, like, your stance, like, the way you were, like, piecing it all out and asking me questions. I'd like to do
Yeah.
that on a series I've read that you haven't read, just kind of
Yeah.
so you can see what it feels like. Because I really enjoyed this. I think that you helped me to have a much more impactful reading experience, and I wonder if it's gonna be the
Good.
same for you,
I'm sure it
or
will.
if I'm gonna catch things I wouldn't have caught because I'm
Yeah.
asking questions.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
felt like the first
it's
time I read it through, I didn't have very many questions, but now in reading it, I'm like, "Well, wait a second.
you had a ton, and
Well,
some of the things that
yeah."
you kinda caught, I'm like, "Holy crap." Like, you said something, I think it was, Power of Dawn, and I went and had a look, and I'm like, "Holy shit, she's right."
Um,
But I didn't catch it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, "Holy fuck, I didn't catch it." I was like, "Wow, man." So, yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I
Me
had a lot of
too.
fun.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
excited
good.
for
I
more.
really
I'm
yeah,
honestly, like,
me
I love
too.
Throne of Glass, but I'm excited to move on to the next one.
I'm ready to. I felt like I wasn't ready until it finished, and I'm like, "Yeah, I am okay. I am
Well,
ready to say goodbye to these people."
yeah, well, we've also had, we were supposed to film last week, and so we've had
Yeah.
a whole week of acceptance that it's over until now, and I think that that helps a lot.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, time does heal. It
Yeah.
does, because I think it might have been slightly more gut-wrenching if we'd have done it last week. Now I'm
I
just
probably
kinda
would
like,
have
yeah,
cried
it
if
was
we did last week. It was all fresh.
yeah. And now I'm kind of like, I could sit with it longer
Yeah.
because I didn't wanna forget, and I've been really careful. I didn't read any fantasy books. I've been keeping it very, like, horror, and I'm like, I kinda sat with it for a while, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that ended about as well as I could have expected. It was a bittersweet conclusion. I don't think anyone really got happily ever afters. I don't feel like there's hopeful joy. I feel like with all the death, everyone's kinda like, "I'm glad we came through it, but we've still gotta rebuild." Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it was good. I
that's
enjoyed it.
smart to not read other fantasy series at once because 'cause I'm reading, Zodiac Academy right now or The Ruthless Boys, and there's the power sharing in there. So whenever I was, like, thinking of Dorian sharing his power, I was like, "Wait a second, am I mixing these up?"
Yeah, it's
But
really hard to keep stuff straight, but I went right to the horror. I did read, fantasy trilogy from an indie author, but she was so like, you could tell that I wasn't gonna get mixed up. Like, there was nothing there that was gonna mix me up, so
okay.
we really hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Kingdom of Ash. I have absolutely loved hanging out with Hannah and discussing this
Yeah.
series. If you want to find us on our social medias, you can find Hannah on Instagram at the toppling TBR underscore Hannah. You can find me there too, the toppling TBR underscore Stacey. You can find our Facebook page at the toppling TBR. You can find our YouTube channel at the Toppling TBR. And if you type the Toppling TBR into Spotify, you'll find us there as well. I'm not entirely sure what we're planning on doing next week. Did you want to do an episode where we talk about parts of this book and themes and
I am
cast
open
who
for
would play
that.
the characters? Or do you want to
Yeah,
move on to a new series?
we can have a fun, carefree week, and then we can dive into the next series next time. That way we can
Yeah,
casually
let's
start
do that.
reading and we're not, like, crunching to finish a whole book like normal.
Yeah, let's do that. I think we could
Okay.
have a really like fun chat and
Yeah, I
make it.
agree.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing next week. Make sure you join us, readers. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care.
Bye.